Good morning, everyone. This is another episode of Trade with Travis. Hope everybody's doing very well. We are live as we go through. Take a look at what's happening in the market. I have April 19th. It is 6:39. I do apologize for being a little bit late. Um, but I wanted to make sure that I end up handling everything before we end up getting started without having any distractions. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from the education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. You understand that trading involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it's not promised that you're going to end up making money today. So with that being said, as we go through and take a look at the charts, I'm going to speed up on this one because I have I have a meeting that's going to end up being right around 8 o'clock. So I want to hurry up and get this done. But yesterday, what ended up happening? We ended up having our biggest fundamentals day, pretty much all year. I mean, not all year, all month at this particular point. And now, as we go through and kind of see what's happening based off of that information, we end up seeing that retail sales was actually good. The interest rate was actually a little bit lower when it came down to, well, interest rate was a little bit higher when it came down to the Chinese yuan. We take a look at what ended up happening with the consumer price index. It was actually better than expected across the board when it came down to the Canadian dollar. Now, going into today, not going to be much information. We're going to end up having some people from the Fed actually end up talking a little bit later on the day when it comes down to the United States dollar, but the pound actually end up having a consumer price index that ended up coming out being 10.1, which is actually pretty good for them as well when it came down to those numbers under the circumstances. So, with that information, what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at what's happening with the big three, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Okay, cool. Um, we'll go ahead and take a look at the United States dollar index. We'll take a look at oil, take a look at gold. That gives us a better chance to be able to happen what's going on from there. Last time we ended up speaking, this is where we was at. United States dollar index has appeared to be bearish for the last few weeks, but we still have a long-term bullish. We have a long-term bullish trend line, as you see in this purple trend line from right here. Market ended up bouncing from the bottom of this actual support. We go right into the daily and kind of show that. Market fell down to support, bounced up, stayed above this consolidation that ended up happening a few months ago, early in January. And at this particular point, has broken the counter trend line break, but was still kind of in consolidation and we're kind of there's not necessarily much news to be able to pay attention to. So uh, I am a little bit more optimistic than I was a couple of days ago on being able to see that the United States dollar was going to end up being a little bit stronger. But I have to be able to pay attention to that a little bit more as we go through. A 2 hour buy zone, the counter trend line break move off of that has already happened. But this is actually showing better signs of being able to say, hey, we may be interested in being able to make a trade. Market end up breaking out. We end up having a retest. Market end up pushing up from there. The only problem that I'm looking at that could be a potential issue is that we look at how the wick of these candles actually end up going. We can see that sellers are starting to be able to cut this off right at the top. Uh, and this is the high that we have to be able to break for this market to be truly ready to be able to go and stay bullish for the foreseeable. I'm not gonna say the foreseeable future, but just for a short amount of time to the upside. So I am interested in being able to buy. I'm just looking for a um, the best entry position to be able to get in at this particular point. The better entry position would have been right there when the market ended up hitting that support. But I did not make that trade. So we're going to have to pay attention to this one a little bit. I am going to say that the United States dollar is bullish overall. When we take a look at this from a weekly perspective, you may not think so. We look at it from we look at it that it's not necessarily in the trade zone. We see that we're still in consolidation. But if I had to pick a direction right now, I would say that the United States dollar could be looking at some bullish times or bullish few days just based off of taking a look at the charts. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's ready to make a move, but I will keep that in mind. Oil, last time we took a look at it, was in consolidation, pushed up to 82, pushed up to the resistance of 82.50, and then after that started to reject. That's exactly what ended up happening. From a weekly perspective, it got up to 82.50. The actual high was 83.50, trying to break out of this overall zone that's been happening since the early portions of November 2022. Since then, the market has started to reject off of this overall movement to the downside. If you're a person that loves being able to trade this consolidation, selling at 82.50 or that 83.50 area would have been a great area to be able to get into. We talked about being able to sell it down to the halfway point. Um, but I'm not one of those people that love being able to trade consolidation. I like being able to trade the breakout of consolidation. I think if you watch these videos multiple times, you'll understand that. But um, if you did make that sale, the sale was down from the overall resistance to the midpoint. That would have been an easy trade to be able to get into and kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with. So I'm just gonna let this one play out. Oil, and we can see with United States Canadian dollar that we're seeing pure consolidation in this point. So for all my people that love being able to trade grid style trades or anything else like that, you're seeing this. You're seeing the same thing from the United States dollar index and from oil, that they're both showing consolidation, and this is the consolidation that's being shown based off of U.S. CAD. Okay, so just please keep that in mind. Um, not making a trade off in this area, not yet, because of the 33% chance of being able to win. Let's take a look at what's happening with gold. Gold ended up popping up to 2030. Since then, the market has rejected. It went from that triangle of consolidation. Then after that, popped to the upside. There's a D extension that's still expected to be hit at some point in time at 2133. Right now, the market is starting to reject a little bit. Said that the United States dollar was starting to show signs of being strong, which means that if we look at this, we will see that the United States, or you'll see that the market will be falling at this point. That would kind of represent the United States dollar's strength. So right now, nothing to be able to do off of gold, which means that there's really nothing to do off of the U.S. yen as well. I'm going to show the chart of U.S. yen, but there's really nothing to be able to do off of U.S. yen either, as the market is still basically inside of this consolidation as well. So gonna pay attention to it, but right now it's nothing great to be able to look at. We've been talking about that for pretty much the beginning of, well, since the beginning of April. Now we talked about. I want to talk about one move in crypto. We talked about this overall trade when the market broke out at 25,000. We said that it would get up to 29. It did. It broke out of that area. Got up to 31. The market has broken out of this overall area and, or basically has retested this area. And 29,000 is a major number when it comes down to um, battlefields. I guess that's the best way to explain it. The reason why I'm saying that is this: if you notice, there's three different areas. I have them circled. One, when the market first made that big run in November 2020, once they end up getting past 25,000, they end up basically erupting, pushing all the way up to 31, rejected off of that, and then used 29,000 as a support. We can see that 29,000 was the support right here as well, and we can see that 29,000 was a support right here. Now the question is this market going to end up holding 29,000 and start being able to make it, start being able to get stronger and bullish at this particular point in time, and start being able to move back up to the highs that it was in? We can see right here when the market actually fell in April of last year, the market ended up finding support right here, and then after that failed, well, final consolidation, then fell from 29, got back up to 25. The reason why we ended up saying that was because when the market was down at 16,000, we ended up saying that there were four areas that the market had to truly break. It had to break the $18,000 area to be able to find support. It had to break 23 for the midway point and 25 for the overall high. And then after that, it had to settle and stay above 29,000 for the market to continue being bullish. And then after that, have somewhat of a bull run for crypto in this case. Now, with that being said, I think this might be one of the last positions to where if you did not get in and you're trying to get in from a long-term perspective, that you would have to truly start paying attention to this area. We can see that buyers have tried to hold this as support right here. This ended up happening as of the last 2 hours, but I'm pretty sure that the market is probably going to consolidate in this area. And if it does consolidate in this area, I think the move is going to be to the upside. And for the foreseeable future, it may end up staying to the upside, as we may look at seeing the next Bitcoin run actually start to happen towards the upside. So that's something that I am excited about. Obviously, we put in a lot of work for being able to get in at these low numbers of consolidation. Now, hopefully, we can be able to reap the benefit of the reward of staying active on this one. So There we go with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening with US 30. Then after that, we'll take a look at what's happening with Nas 100, and then from there, we're going to move forward. Um, let's see. Hey, what's going on, Block? Are you in any EV ETFs? Not yet. Not yet, Block. Give me one in mind that you like, and I'll start taking a look at it. Sorry, I didn't have the YouTube link up. Just paying attention to it a little bit earlier. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Lost my train of thought. Chart. Okay, so US 30. Just take me to the chart, please. Thank you. Market ended up having a huge run from that consolidation spot that we ended up talking about. We talked about how this market was showing a channel, and I did not trade. I have not traded this myself manually over the course of the last couple of days. I've let my automation systems trade it, but we can see that it's done broken out of this consolidation to the downside uh, currently right now. So this is what we know. Long term perspective, we're just looking at this, or just looking at this from a daily perspective. We can see that from an Ikimoku cloud standpoint, the market is still considered to be bullish, but we're seeing a lot of consolidation. I don't know if y'all can notice that. Got a lot of stuff going on right here, but here is the actual price. Let me get that out the way. Price is right here, still above consolidation. Obviously, we can see that the Ikimoku cloud is starting to get a little bit more sideways. So we're seeing a little bit more consolidation, and that matches up with what we've been seeing across the market. Now, from a hourly perspective and being able to say, okay, well, is there any type of move to be able to get into? We talked about this buy. Uh, talked about the buy at the market when it broke above 33,630. We said from 33,630 all the way up to 34,250 will end up being the move to the upside that I look at being able to trade. Now, the reason why we said that was because the last time that the market had a major consolidation in January, the resistance was right around that 34,250 area, and the support was 33,520, or so let's say 33,500. When it broke out of this consolidation, it kind of goes back to what we end up saying. When the market ends up breaking a resistance, it will end up finding another resistance. So we have not broken out of this long-term consolidation that we end up having from um, November of last year, where the resistance was above 34,300 or 34,400. But we're getting very close. Now, from the people that have been trading this to the upside, essentially what has happened is this: um, we see that the market ended up having two times of being able to pop up to the upside, gave strong consolidation in this area, and then after that, quickly started to turn around. So um, we talked about being able to look at a potential move when the market ended up falling down to consolidation right here. That ended up happening yesterday. I mean, 2 days ago. If you end up taking advantage of that, you end up having a chance to be able to make about 400 points to the upside. You have not taken advantage of that. Essentially, what happened is the market fell out of this consolidation to the downside and is starting to be able to. Um, the question is, are we going to see this market start to truly start to fall now? Here is your. I'm not going to say new consolidation because this really hasn't found a defined support yet. But we can see that the market is starting to kind of halt around this area. So just please keep that in mind as we go through. There's no move to be able to make off of this one that I'll feel comfortable with. I'm not buying yet. Hey, what's going on, Casey? I'm not buying yet, at least not yet. So I'm just gonna keep that in mind as we go through and kind of make our decisions. Already made money off the buys. Right now, it's just kind of seeing how patient we can be able to be off of this move. Don't like it yet, though. Don't like it yet. Nice 100. Last one. Nas 100 still inside of consolidation. 33% chance of being able to win right now. The buy trade that we was looking at, it broke above 13,169, and then as soon as it ended up breaking out, it ended up falling back in. If you end up taking that trade, that actually would have been a loss. I did not pull the trigger on that trade. Um, I think, matter of fact, I know I didn't pull the trigger on that trade because we was in class actually doing some stuff while that was actually happening. So I am kind of paying attention to it. We just got to keep it in mind that I still like to trade above 13,160. Um, Going all the way up to 13,042. If it falls down, um, I believe that it will fall down. Well, let's put it like this. I think that it's going to fall down to support. The support will be at 12,880. The question is how long it's going to end up taking to go from there. Hey, what's going on, Marcel? Just found your stream after watching a few of your YouTube videos. How's the morning treating you today? Morning's okay. I wish I could find some trades today to actually be able to get into. Unfortunately, I don't see anything. I just I let my systems kind of ride out and kind of do their thing. But manual trades are starting to be able to, or starting to slow down at this particular point. I had a very good March, but really haven't been able to find great positions to get into that I felt very comfortable with in April yet. Block says I was looking at New York Stock Exchange market cars focused on the production of EVs. Hale focusing on the autonomous tech. Cool. Let's take a look at one of them. I'm actually more interested in Hale. Let's see what's going on with that one. Um, and we'll see what's going on with that. Da, 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 da. Okay, this one's all around the world. Da, 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 da. Go to the daily. Got in two trades on Sunday. U.S. yen long entry at 134, stop loss 187, 2 to 1 risk ratio. Kind of like what I ended up saying before, Casey. I do see that the U.S. yen is in consolidation. I'll take a look at it real quick though. Okay, so the, block. One thing that I do like about this is that at least it's showing signs of being able to find a support. You know, Steven SoCal. I remember Steven SoCal was looking at all of these as possible opportunities, and I haven't heard back from him in a while. But um, I do like that it's done found support, and it looks like it's somewhat of a pivot point. If I'm talking about it from a daily perspective and just saying, okay, well, where's the area where the market could kind of rebound? This would be somewhere where it would be. The question is, um, where are we at when on the phase of the down move? The reason why I say that is because that if from a field perspective, if the market has completed a de-extension, then that may end up making it a little bit easier for people to be able to feel more comfortable in being able to trade this now. But it has to have some type of news to go along with it. Let's see. This is your second swing. Let's see. A, B, C, D. Here's your third swing to the downside. I just want to see if the fibs are done to the downside. That's your third swing. The last swing ended up completing um, in July of last year. So that will make this A, B, C. This is the last of that swing. This is the fourth portion of that swing to the downside for Hale. Yeah, he was definitely EV man. He actually ended up making us a couple. I don't know if you end up trading some of the stuff that he ended up saying. He actually ended up doing pretty well on some of that stuff, um, especially for a good little bit. Um, let's see, A, B, C. Okay, so put it like this, Block. Yes, I believe that it would be a good entry. We're looking at based off the pivot points. If this market is going to fall down, it could fall all the way down to $25. 25, yep, $25 when it comes down to the stock. This overall, that's if it falls. If it doesn't fall, and we're talking about final support, this is a very good support area to be able to pay attention to from a just from a price perspective. Now, if we talk about this from a hourly, there's not enough trade action. There's not enough volatility to be able to say that this thing is going to end up popping and being able to make a move. So um, this one is going to have to be way more based off of technicals, way more based off of technicals, and way more based off of news that's going to end up happening. Um, I don't think because the news is going to bring the volatility. Right now, obviously, we're not seeing enough volatility to be able to make this thing truly make a move. But let's say this. Here's my hypothetical situation that I'll be interested in. It's a gap in price, and I don't know if now you can be able to see it from here. When the market starts to be able to start being able to make its move above 3060, then I would like to be able to take advantage of 3060 all the way up to 3262. That'll be the first move. This market ends up breaking out of that area. So 3260 all the way up to 3262 will be the spot that I would like to be able to get in at. But it doesn't have a lot of volatility. That could be a good thing, but it doesn't have a lot of volatility to be able to work off of. So this one is going to be one of those ones that you're going to have to set and forget off of this one. So being able to catch that support is going to be going to mean way more than kind of like with US 30 being able to find it in a great position, or US 30 being able to find it in a terrible position, but being able to have volatility. You're not going to get that much volatility off of this one. So this one's going to have to be based off of trying to see you can catch it at support. Take a look at. I'm going to take a look at USGN one more time. I talked about it earlier, but I know Casey was talking about it, so I'm going to bring it up one more time. USGN, the extension to the upside at 138. United States dollar started to get a little bit stronger. We're seeing that the market is in consolidation. We're seeing that that same channel that was being made to the downside based off of what was happening with Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, based off of what's happening with the United States dollar index, is the same thing that's happening right here. The only difference is that we're at the resistance right now at this point. So um, let's see. Entry at 134, stop loss 187, 131, target 137. Casey, you did it again. A good stop loss. The stop loss is definitely in a good position. I think that you find this. I would say pay attention to what's happening at the early portions of today, and see if this market is going to reject this consolidation. If it rejects the consolidation, you may have to be in it for a while, or look at being able to take profit real quick, and then try to find a better entry. But that is the channel that I'm looking at on US yen. Um, CAD yen. I haven't looked at CAD yen. God knows when. Last time we looked at CAD yen from a weekly perspective, the market ended up double tapping at one. I think it was at 110. That was right when all of the news and everything else ended up coming out. Um, or back when the Japanese yen government ended up kind of interfering with the market to be able to get the prices to be able to go down a little bit more. So um, essentially, where we're at right now is that we're in the middle of an ABCD swing. ABCD swing goes as follows. There goes your A. Here goes your B. Your B is now down at the 5.0. Well, your C is down at the 5.0. D extension will be up here. The D extension is expected to be at 114.24 for that. Let's see, long entry of 100 with a stop loss of 99.69. Price target 185. 185. So he's scalping the heck out of this one. Let's go to the 15 minute. Well, no, let's go back to the 2 hour so I can go to see what's happening real quick. It's an A that was broken out for the daily. Let me do this one more time. I'm sorry. I got myself out of whack. Okay. Good. Entry at 100.5. Stop loss. Stop loss 99.69. I know you're doing CAD yen as a scalp play. My only fear is that we're looking at resistance and you're going to end up getting stopped out on that one. We looked at what happened with oil. We ended up saying the oil was in a. We said the oil ended up hitting the top of resistance, started to fall, which means that should be a good thing for the Japanese yen. Um, but we also seen that gold was in consolidation as well, and the United States dollar has started to be able to fall just a little bit from there. Casey, I'll be a little bit more iffy on CAD yen. I think what's happening is that is starting to happen right there. The stop loss is way out of the way of that consolidation, but if it does break below 100, then that'll be cause for concern. But I think you're going to be in CAD yen a little bit longer than what you would be on US yen off of this one. I think your direction is spot on. I just think that obviously just looking at what we're seeing right here in consolidation, you're probably going to be here for a while. Yeah. Well, didn't find necessarily a trade to be able to get into this morning, but definitely I'm interested in being able to look at what happens a little bit later on today. If you like what I end up doing, please click on that boost button. It definitely does help out for us being able to get other people to be able to see what we're doing. And like always, make sure that you end up planning your trade. Trade your plan. I'll see each and every one of y'all in the next video. Take it easy.